Hello there, Latin 2. We are on chapter 29. I'm going to go over the glossary with you first, and then in the next few videos, we're going to do 3 videos of grammar, fairly short, and then some exercises to go along with them, and then we're going to do the reading, and then some exercises to go with that, and then, the final translation. So, here we go. Tuck in. Page 11. Summa celeritate. Summa celeritate. Now, summa comes from summus and this means the highest or the most. You get this from summa cum laude, the summit of a, I was going to say building, but that's not how it works. The summit of a mountain. But yeah, that's where that comes from. Also, summation, in total. Now, celeritate comes from celeritas, celeritatis. It's feminine. You can tell it's feminine because summa. But you can also tell it's feminine because it's one of those third declension nouns that ends in as and then goes to itas. And they translate very easily into English. You get dignity from dignitas. You get celerity from celeritas. You get equality from equalitas. Kiwitas gives you, civility. So the as, atis words, they are what I call idea words of the thirds. And those are all feminine, the itas, itatis. A servis ferebantur, just translated exactly as that is, that's a gift. In the next chapter, I'm going to teach you that whole form, and you'll learn 72 more forms of verbs. Don't worry, it'll be easy, I promise. There will be songs. Concurso, concursare, concursavi, concursatum. This is to run to and fro, to run hither and yon, to run around. This is where we get concourse from. Okay, the thing that takes you around the airport. Portatur comes from porto, portare. It's another passive form. You'll get it next week or next lessons, Delecto, delectare, delectavi, delectatum. This is to delight or to amuse. This is where we get delectable. The next word, mendicus, mendici. Now, be careful, because if you leave out the N, you've just promoted them from being a beggar to a doctor. Yeah, big difference. So mendicus is where we get the word mendicant. I don't know if you ever heard that word, but a mendicant is one who begs. Elegantissimus aum. We're going to run into a few forms like this for a while until we get to about chapter 34. But this means most elegant, okay? So, elegantissimus aum, most elegant. You can also translate it as very elegant, but right now keep it as most. I don't mind the bad English. Adstantes, adstantium. Now, this comes from adstans, adstantis, okay? This is masculine. Although I guess theoretically it could be feminine because these could be bystanders that are all women. This is a third, so it's both endings work. But I love the word bystander in English is one who stands by, and here it's adstantes from sto stare, to stand at. Nothing's changed in 2,000 years. Rixa, rixai, we'll find out later it comes from a verb, but right now, rixa, rixai is a quarrel, a fight. Finis, finis, this is a masculine of the third. It means the end. It also means border or boundary. It's also the name of a god who's so strong that not even Zeus could move him. That's where we get fin. The fins are at the ends of fish. It could also, fin is at the end of French films. Finish, a lot of words like that. Libertus, liberty. This is specifically a freedman. Okay, now a freedman is somebody who's been granted his freedom by his master. He has to wear a pileus, which is a felt cap. It looks a little like a Smurf cap, to signify that he is in fact a freedman. He also has the signet ring of citizenship, but he also takes his master's old name. This is a libertus. That's where we get the word libertas, libertatis. They're connected. Ipsius comes from ipse, ipsa, ipsum. That is a definite or demonstrative adjective. This means of that person. Okay, so of him himself. Fumus, fumi means smoke. That's where we get the word fume. Also, if you know your Spanish, fumar, Okay. Now, we get down here to line 7 and line 12 because these verbs don't take standard stems. So, recumbo, recumbra, recubui. Take out the M there for the perfects. And there's no fourth principal part, and there's a few reasons for that. Mostly, we just haven't found it in Roman literature. Who knows? Maybe we'll find it someday. But the kind of bike where people sit down and they pedal with their feet out in front of them, that is a recumbent bike. It's one where you are reclining, okay, or laying back. Aufugio, aufugra, aufugi. This is if you put ab in front of fugio, fugra. So it's to run away, not to escape. So abfugio, 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 aufugio. It turns into a U. Turn the page because there's more. If you take a look on page 13, you see the verb eripio, eripera, eripui, ereptum, which is to snatch out of someone's hands, versus aripio, aripera, which we've seen, which is to snatch away from. Okay? Then turn the page, and you get to page 15, and you see calerimus aum. Notice there's one L, two R's. Okay? Calerimus aum means the fastest, or the most fast. And we're getting into some interesting territory with that. And my dog is barking at us, as you can hear. Now, if you take a look at page 18, at the very bottom, there's mensa mensae, which is a table. In Spanish, it also means stupid person, which I love because it also is a group of people who think they're crazy smart. In English, there's an organization called Mensa. If you know anybody from Mensa, you'll know because they will have told you 200 times in a 3-minute conversation. And then the last one that we're going to look at there is rumpo, rumpera, rupi, ruptum. This means to burst. It's where we get rupture from, but also a whole bunch of other words. Interrupt means to burst between two people when they're talking and stuff like that. Now, there's a whole bunch of words on there as well, but we're going to cover those in a different video. So I just want you to have all the vocabulary you need to get through chapter 29. So there you go. I'm going to hit the button.